In the year 22 BBY, the galaxy was changed forever, falling prey to a dictatorship without even realizing, and the man at the center of it all? Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar is a key to all this. If we get Jar Jar working, because he's a funnier character than we've ever had in any of the movies before.
In 32 BBY, Binks fought valiantly to protect his home planet of Naboo, the same home that once rejected and banished him. Binks single-handedly brokered peace between the Naboo and Gungan races before fighting the separatist army with his bare hands, using the same drunken fist techniques that he would pass down to Jackie Chan. Once an outcast and considered incompetent, Jar Jar Binks beat all the odds and came out on top, an underdog, a man who can take it. Not a hero, not like Skywalker. He wasn't the hero the galaxy deserved, but he was the one they needed. A watchful protector, a silent guardian, a dark knight. This is how the galaxy would have remembered Binks had he not fallen from grace. When Padme Amidala was placed in Jedi protective custody, Binks was chosen to represent her in the Senate. A choice I'm sure she regretted. Famously, Amidala was against the creation of the clone army. However, Binks used the power she invested in him and threw it all away. Nobody knows what corrupted the former Gungan hero. His addiction to death sticks? The time he spent rolling with the Hutts? Some have even theorized that it was the dark side of the Force itself. What everyone does know is where they were when he gave emergency power to pro-clone army Chancellor Palpatine. I don't need to remind anybody of the horrors and war crimes that Palpatine would go on to commit. Atrocities that would not have been possible without the biggest mistake of Jar Jar Binks' entire life. It is difficult to say whether Binks understood the gravity of this act, but as the Clone Wars continued, those close to him said he grew colder and colder, which was baffling to comprehend, as he is a cold-blooded life form. In 19 BBY, he didn't speak for the whole year. Perhaps he was mourning his former self. Following the end of the Clone Wars, Binks rarely made any public appearances, though he was seen at Amidala's funeral. One can imagine if he ever thought he failed her. It could be safe to say so, as he's been missing ever since. Maybe he fled to Argentina with some friends. Once a silly little man, given power beyond anyone's control, actively doomed billions of lives, left to live with his failures. Okay, jokes aside, the main goal of this video is to ask, is there actually an interesting story here? Could the filmmakers have started off with Jar Jar as an unassuming character and have him become a key player in the trilogy? Well, people have theorized over something like that for years, but I'm talking about the base that's already there and doing something compelling with it. I'm usually of the mindset that every idea can work, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. It just all depends on execution. Most people who do prequel rewrites excise Binks completely, but from what I've already laid out, I think you can see that there is a possible character arc for Binks just bubbling under the surface. An arc where we see how a system can take someone promising and use them for pure evil. A parallel arc to Darth Vader himself. Would this have been necessary? Probably not, but I do believe it's easy to see that many prequel trilogy characters are only developed quite thinly. That isn't to say Star Wars wasn't already built on fairly simple characterization, but with the sheer amount of characters in the prequel trilogy compared to the originals, the effort in writing should have been doubled for any of it to be interesting to watch. Like, who cares about Bail Organa?
I am the last person you want to fuck with, because I will fuck you back in ways you never even imagined.
Okay, forget almost everything I just said. Is it possible to transpose that dramatic retelling of Jar Jar Binks' story onto Bail? Why do this? Well, if we go back to the original Star Wars film, Bail Organa is never seen, but he does have a vital role in kicking off the main plot of the film. Quite similar to most things leading into the original trilogy, nothing important to those films happens in the prequels until Episode 3. Giving Bail a more important role from Episode 1 onwards strengthens the connection between both halves of the saga. Furthermore, I feel giving the proposed Jar Jar arc to Bail may also give him more character-fueled motivation to raise Leia as his child. Think about it. This outcast rejoins society to help his queen save their homeworld. After his acts of heroism, he is given a say in how the galaxy operates, finally having a voice and feeling redeemed for whatever mistakes led him to being an outcast to begin with. Then it all falls apart, when in a desperate but short-sighted attempt to save the galaxy and do right by Padme, he gives emergency powers to Palpatine. Every attempt to take power back from Palpatine after the war is met with rejection. Bail watches the rise of the Empire and is shattered after the death of his closest friend Padme Amidala. The broken man, yet again, fights for redemption, even if he feels he'll never truly atone by attempting to be a good father to Amidala's daughter, and to try and redeem himself in the eyes of the galaxy. Bail plays a key role in forming the Rebel Alliance. Video is over now. Go outside and play.